forum marketing checklist. Now that you've found a couple different forums that you would like to consider joining and promoting, I want to talk about a checklist that I want you to look at each quality of the forum so you can determine which ones you want to be spending your time on. Okay, the first one you want to ask yourself is, does this forum match your niche? Now, in the last video I found several forums on dogs, and of course if I'm selling a dog training product, that's a good match. But sometimes you're not going to be able to find a match that's specific. You're going to try to find the best that you can do, and the important thing is, are the types of people that are there going to be interested in hearing about your product? Does the forum contain enough members? And people will ask, how many members should the forum have to be considered active? And that's a tough question. I mean, the more the better, the active the better, obviously. But even small forums can be very valuable because oftentimes a small forum that's active, can contain a really tight group of people. And you also have to consider that if you go in there and make a presence for yourself there, you can always hope that people there will tell their friends about you too. So just because it's a small group doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way. So you get in there and establish a reputation with people that are interested in your product, and that's just it's going to be worth your time. Is the forum active? I have been to a couple forums that had a tremendous amount of people. However, they were buzzing 2 years ago, and right now they're practically dead. These things do happen for a number of reasons, but you want to make sure that there are a lot of current posts and a lot of active members on there on a daily basis. Is the forum private? This is something that you want to look at. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If you have to pay money to be in the forum, and you can afford it, if it's going to be a good group of people, then of course it's worth it. But generally speaking, the private forums do have some limitations. Granted, the people there are going to be more serious. However, when a forum is public, you can always hope on lurkers and people that aren't members to also be exposed to your product. So keep that in mind. When you're just starting out, I wouldn't suggest going with the private forum unless you're dealing with something really specific and the niche that you're going after is going to contain a really good group of people to explore, which is what I just talked about as the form of paid membership. Does the forum allow signatures that promote products? This is a huge one, because a forum can be great and contain lots of people eager to hear about your product. However, if the forum rules does not allow signatures or does not allow signatures that promote products, then you're going to be out of luck, because I would not suggest spending time on a forum that prohibits this, because it's going to make it much more difficult to get the word out about yourself. Let's just take a look at this one here. Let's just pick a thread here that's long. This is a long one, and see if people have signatures. And what a signature is people make a post, and you can see here, here's the actual post, but then at the bottom, signature is a part that's sent in after every post, and it's easy to line on here. This person is advertising a banner service. This person here has a blog, is promoting their own blog. So you can see here that these people, this person just has a signature that's just a clever saying, or maybe a picture of their dog. So the important thing is that we have definitely identified that this forum seems to be okay with having signatures that promote products. So that's good news. That's really good news. So does it meet the other characteristics as well? Well, that's something that you need to take a closer look at. And sometimes it's looked to me like I was going to be okay in a forum, and then I got in there, started to promote, and I got a warning, and they're like, hey, you're doing it a little bit too much. We don't really like people promoting products, even though I saw other people doing it. So keep that in mind, and if that's the case, no big deal. Maybe you need to either pull back your approach or move on to a different forum, because there are tons of different options out there. But the point is to kind of take a look and make sure that your forum that you're going to get involved with is going to be a good one. And I also would suggest not putting all your eggs in the same basket. Perhaps start out and build a presence on a couple different forums, and then see which one brings you the most benefit, and then you can dive further in.